What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, it's doing all these new StreamYard things on me. It's got some vertical thing. What?
What's the thing on the left?
Get out of here! You guys aren't seeing what we're seeing, and it just
is that streaming to TikTok on the left? Is that what that is?
No, because it doesn't do it. It's going to Twitter, but that's normally this feed.
It says show the preview of your vertical broadcast.
Yeah,
What
vertical broadcast.
How do I get? Oh, I see. Get rid of.
A lot of them are doing that now.
Hide the preview. Well, what's the preview?
The preview is what you just showed.
Right, but where was it playing? Was it playing?
I don't know.
Well,
no, I think it was showing you what it would look like for others.
Well, like the vertical views show up like on phones and stuff, so that way you don't have the square view.
StreamYard, that's strike like 100 for you guys. Like everything you launch, like you should do that when somebody goes live. You know, like, sorry guys, we need to ignore you. What's up? Hope everybody's having a good week. And I know that some of you are. If somebody on Twitter this week could comment, we used to get some good comments on Twitter, and we get a lot of viewers on Twitter. I hate that it must be very hard to maybe Gary can do it. From his account just to see if it works.
I'll go comment on
it's
Twitter.
Weird, dude. You got to go and find the content box. But anyway, guys, what's up? Welcome to the Gig Work Roundtable. We got Acacia, we got Mr. Tom Kelly, we have Cheyenne, and we have Mr. Gary Middleton this week. And we definitely have some things to talk about. I know that we're going to continue a little bit in the beginning. Tom's going to talk to us about some of the stuff that we talked about last week, just continue and close it down. But before we do that, I want to talk about this DoorDash roundtable that happened this week. I've not had time to check in with Luis yet, but I did check in with Marco. And for those of you that know Marco, Nova Hustles, used to be Nova Dasher. For those of you that wonder, like, what did this roundtable really do? I wonder the same thing. I'm very familiar with them doing these type of programs, or even like insight groups or whatever. But this was a little more, and they flew out 7 creators, and they flew out 7 dashers who had done more than 20,000. And 2 of the dashers we know very well: Luis, Delivery TV, and Marco, Nova Hustles. Nova broke it down as I said. So how full of it was it? Because it was one day, they flew them out there. Obviously, they paid them all, but he said, I hope that they have some things that they'll follow through on. I'm kind of surprised because I am waiting for Nova will be real, because I'm surprised they invited him, to be honest. I am.
Wait,
because if anybody remembers that time period when he got deactivated, it wasn't short, and he was one of the people that we knew who had done the most dashes out there. So I'm really not sure how. Oh my gosh, we have 32 people. Unless those are wrong, we have 32.
Hey, did they call it a round table? If so, can we sue them?
I mean, yes, they did. Yeah. So we have 16 people on YouTube, and we have a total of 42 watching. We're only streaming to 2 platforms. So what's up, Twitter? Please comment. We can't see you guys. But if you do, we'll see it. I hope. You just got to find out how to do it.
Well, I just put it in the chat there. You can see my comment.
Was it easy to do?
Yeah, at least from a computer. Okay. Let me see about my phone.
I mean, it used to just be like a comment bar, but I know now it's like
that's how it is on the computer.
Huh. But yeah, I did want to talk about the creators that we had. So the 7 that they invited were Luis, Delivery TV, Marco, Nova Hustles, Nova Dasher, Mike, your driver Mike, Bentley Coupe, and then some people, 2 I don't know. I'm not very familiar with these guys, Dasher Phil and JB Delivers. And then the last one, another shocker, was Sin Cities. Not really sure why. Again, there's a lot of people invited to this.
Wait, they invited Sin City?
Yeah.
The one that was glitching their app.
Yeah. And selling the glitch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was selling subscriptions to steal or how to do the glitch. I mean, I don't want to dog him, but I'm definitely not going to not dog him. kind of thing. Like that guy is a joke.
I mean, why didn't they invite me?
Dude, honestly, honestly, like Marco. I remember Marco being on either the podcast or this and just being livid for months at
Well, yeah, because he was
DoorDash.
being real. But I think they also maybe wanted someone that was real and that had a lot of deliveries. But the thing is, I haven't seen some of Marco's videos lately, but when he got back and things were getting better, he was showing, that he was declining a lot, but he was also showing that things are still okay. So it could be that they haven't seen those videos where when he was deactivated, how much he was like not happy with DoorDash. So it could be that they just haven't like scrubbed through, or they really just wanted people that were going to be honest, because Marco's going to be honest with them.
Wait, do you think there's like an employee that's going to quit soon? He's like, oh yeah, here's the 6 we need to invite.
Well, I just think, and it's funny you said that, dude, because Mark, that's how he listed it to me. Because at first we were texting because he was getting on the plane. We texted for a while because I was like, they're so full of crap, dude. I'm so familiar with these focus groups and BS, and so he did get 5-6 minutes with Tony Shu 1-on-1.
Wow.
Ooh.
I was like, too bad you didn't have a spork or something.
Wow, that's awesome.
But is it though? I mean,
it is, to be able to like meet, like no matter what you say, he can ask him any form of question and he's right there with the guy. Like
And
not
the guy
everyone
still
gets that
won't answer the
opportunity.
but I was just
He-
gonna say what Gary said, like that these guys are so trained to like they'll answer,
Granted.
but they're gonna give you some answer about like the rainforest when you asked them about pay.
True.
Right.
They're just it's almost like they're robots at this point. They're just dialed into this. They just do it. Like, oh, I know, I'm just give them this. And I mean, I don't know. To me, it's somewhat insulting to have him there, I think. If you're serious about these groups, you flew them out to San Francisco, you put them up at the hotel across the street from DoorDash headquarters. They already got the walkthrough. They didn't, what is meeting Tony Shu for 5 minutes when he's been screwing with your life for 4 years?
Some people would appreciate it, I'm sure.
I'd spend the whole 5 minutes grilling him about transparency. I wouldn't let him get off the topic. I'd be like, no. I asked you about this. Answer the no. Stop what you're doing. Tell me about transparency.
I think that's why
no
none of
rainforest.
us were invited.
Probably.
Exactly.
But again, I mean, like Luis has a lot to say on that. Just because he's the biggest Spanish channel doesn't mean they should be inviting him. He really fights them every turn.
No.
It's an interesting group of people. Again, I don't know Dasher Phil. I don't know JB Delivers. I guess these are all big DoorDash channels. Because DoorDash, the email that went out to all the people that were invited that I just listed, was the same email that they watch all the channels, and these were the 7 that they wanted, representing 2025 right now.
They're probably all simps.
Well, but Marco and Luis are. I
No.
can't speak for the rest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nova's.
I just find it crazy that a guy's selling a glitch to your platform and you invite him out.
And I was gonna say, like, dude, I'm not being mean. Isn't that the only thing he's known for? Like his channel wasn't
Pretty
like
much.
other channels where it's all this DoorDash stuff that's good for the company and whatnot. His whole channel blew up because of that glitch.
Well, this was an interesting comment that came in. I think it's smart of them to invite him because they'd like to pick his brain. You never know what you can discover while talking to someone, especially someone that's going to like blow up a glitch like that and then try to profit from it. They're going to slip up at some point in time. So it might have been a strategic thing to pick his brain.
Maybe. I mean, maybe they wanted to know how you found the glitch to begin with or something like that. But I mean, that's like inviting me or David from Para and say, hey, how are you guys hacking our systems? I mean,
and could you please stop?
Yeah,
I mean,
No, but I mean, like, I don't know. I find it interesting. Gary and I have talked to people. Gary's familiar with these type groups with Uber and stuff too. Like, these groups are all, I mean, we've even talked about how, they'll probably use the answers from these 7 people. They'll probably use it as, okay, use your driver Mike's answer on that one. Use Luis on that one. Don't use the rest. This is where they pick and choose what they liked, who said. This isn't about revamping DoorDash.
No.
And now is where I go to the Tom part, where Tom's going to talk to us about some of these earnings and where things are, because we're going into a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. This is the 6 weeks where you got to be banging it hard out, and DoorDash is in the crapper. And when Tom said something last week about why didn't they, and this is true, why didn't they revise their Q3 earnings? Because they knew they were wrong. Not only did they know we're going to drop a bomb on people and tell them in 2026 it's even going to be worse, but they knew that these were wrong. They knew the revenues were high, and they knew that nothing was going to match underneath. When Tom used the term a month out, they should have revised that a month out. I actually asked Marco, and it was a month out from Q3 earnings that they invited these people to this roundtable.
There you go.
I mean, look, you guys don't have to put the puzzle pieces together. I am. I know all this. This is dude, get out there before the holidays and plug us and do good things and this and that and the other. And, we'll see. I guess we'll see. Those are the people that you want to be watching, though. See what kind of content they drop, even if you don't normally watch them over the next week, because I'm sure they're all going to be dropping
if their
content
completely changes to promote DoorDash, they got some big money from that meeting.
Well, okay, and I'll tell you this much. Rideshare guy turned down the offer to go. And we all know why. Hi, Harry. Harry's a friend. I'm not talking about Sergio and Chris part of this now. I'm talking about the money man. Harry ain't going to do this for whatever those guys did it for.
Oh, no. Harry's
where he talks 50, 100 grand just to do anything. So, I mean, these guys all did it. And I do have an idea of what they all made. From what I was told, they all talked about it in public. So they all made the same thing. It was like they flew them out. They had a night in the hotel. They had the next day, and then they had a night in the hotel, and then they flew out the next morning. So to San Francisco from, DC for Marco. So it must have been worth the time, I would hope. Buddha's out there for a documentary. Are you kidding with me, Buddha? Or
no. He said, if you look above that, he said, I'm going to buy a second DoorDash account for a documentary.
Oh. I was thinking maybe they did do it for a documentary. Look how happy our drivers are. But even Bentley, I'm not a big Bentley fan. I know a lot of people who have done more DoorDash than me. I'm not a fan either. I just don't watch it. And honestly, I know a lot of people, he destroys them now too. He used to be all pro, but now I know he'll say this sucks or whatever. So I don't know. Seems like an interesting group. But Tom, that's what I wanted to put out there before this, because all this is just kind of weird. And when I asked him, it was, when I asked Marco, and I'm going to talk to Luis too. Luis will have an interesting take on this, I'm sure. I was trying to watch his videos, but they're in Spanish. So really hard to do when you don't speak Spanish. But Tom, what do you got on this now, knowing that too? Might play into it.
Hold on a second here. Trying to get this set going, and it should do it. All right. So I'll share this with you guys from the Yahoo Finance stuff. There is a page dedicated to nothing but gig economy discussions. So it's pretty interesting to go through here. Now, so I'm saying, yeah, go look at this guy, but you have to understand everything that's written in these pieces. If you read this on any website, they have a slant. Okay. And they're not always going to tell you what it is. But they have, you cannot, even though there's all these laws about these guys, can't own stock if they're going to write about it and all this. Everybody's got a slant. Everybody's got their own agenda. Just remember that when you're reading this, because sometimes you're going to read things and you're going to go, that's funny. Because I won't get into it right now, but if you read what he doesn't like about Uber stock, and some of the things that frustrated him about the call the other day. And then go way down, and I forget which one it is down here near the bottom, but there's another one where basically the company did the same thing, and he praised them for doing the same accounting trick that Uber did. So, it's, everybody's got their own thing, right? So just remember that as you read this stuff. But what I was really looking for, because I knew it had to exist, and it turns out there's two major ones. Let's see, gotta close that, and we'll come back to that. So did you know that there is a stock, there's actually two of them, that you can buy that is only gig economy stocks?
Huh.
So in other words, you buy this stock and it has already purchased stocks in all the other companies. So this one,
So like a basket of stocks.
Yes, it's an ETF. For those of you who are keeping track, and it's all based on Uber and Lyft and all that kind of stuff. This is an interesting one. It starts off right now. It's about $10. It hasn't been going all that long, but they're trying to have a nice, easy break-in price here. It's gone up and down over the course of the last couple of years, as you can see. But it's interesting. The other one, what did I do with the other one? I knew I was going to do this because I had too many windows open. Okay, well, I closed the other one. Sorry.
Okay.
But there's another one that's like that one that's it's got 7 in the name. I'll come back to it if I can find it. I think like
seven rooms.
No.
It's not the table seating service that they're moving into the app.
No.
Okay.
No, this is like Gig 7, and it's the 7 largest gig companies, and so that's another interesting stock. But it's interesting to see how they're fluctuating right now. Right now, the entire stock market's weird.
Yeah,
I don't get how weird what's happening right now, where the stocks are going up, and so is unemployment, and that we've had a government shutdown. All this is against all the rules that people believe about stock stuff. So invest at your own risk right now, because this is weird and getting weirder. But the other thing I want to talk about, I brought it up at the end of last week, and this is the other stock I was looking for. So anyway, they go through and they describe all this and the history of the gig economy and why they're putting it all together. So anyway, gotta find this other guy here.
Tom, don't put a picture of my house on your screensaver.
So this guy Tuberville, that's not a place, it's a guy, is a senator, and he put together in the last year or so the Safety Act for CDL drivers. And basically it's talking about the drivers, need to speak English. They need to be able to read all the road signs. They need to be able to converse with police officers if they're pulled over, all this kind of stuff. If you're going to be a professional driver in America, this is what he put together in October, and then turned right around and I guess somebody tapped him on the shoulder and he said, "Oh yeah, and rideshare drivers too." So there's a second bill called the Uber bill, which is also about understanding English, and it also requires that all of us would have to be able to read English.
Yep.
So my question I was asking last week, and I put out to everybody now, is anybody got a problem with this?
Do I have a problem with? Wait, do I have a problem with them doing it, or trying to do it, or with?
If they made it a law that all testing for CDL, that everything, that the rideshare driver who picks you up tomorrow needs to be able to speak English and converse with the public. Do you have a problem if that was a law?
I don't want to sound like. Go ahead, Gary.
I'll say it first. I don't care if they can speak English. I don't care two flips about that. If they can read the road signs and they know what it's saying, that's all I really care about. Whether they can converse with me, don't really care about.
But what about if they? How do you know they can read the signs, and how do you then know if like you are driving me and you speak English and I'm like, yo, you missed the turn, and you're like, I'm taking a different way. What happens in that case scenario when you're wondering if he does know the laws and he's just going, oh yes, hello?
But it doesn't matter. I mean, how many of us can identify Spanish or French when we see a word, but we don't speak a lick of it?
How many of us can drive in France?
What?
I mean, it's how it is. I can identify words in other languages,
right? But we can't go to any country in the world and do rideshare without a series of tests.
Yes, you can.
You have to have a green card to work.
You just have to get a license to work. As long as they're licensed to work, who cares? As long as they can read English, who cares if they can speak English?
I'm just pointing out
I don't care.
I'm just pointing out that I've traveled for production around the globe, and most countries don't want you there. I'm gonna be honest. For very shorts of time, they're cool with it, but they don't want you. They definitely don't want you moving there.
Well, that's because Americans are terrible visitors.
Right, but it's not just Americans. Like if you want to go anywhere, it's hard to get a visa to stay there.
Well, no, I mean it's
very hard.
United States is probably one of the most welcoming places to actually move to and get licensed and stuff. But it still goes back to the point. Do I care if they speak English? No, I don't. Do I care that they can read it? Yes.
Let's flip the script here. Let's say that you're an English speaking, driver, and you're picking somebody up, and you pick them up and they don't speak a lick of English. Say they're Pakistani or straight out of like Mexico, and they haven't learned any English language yet, and they're trying to communicate something important to you. It could be like, so something medically important. It could be like difference in the instructions, where to take me, like when time I have to be there by, like, and you don't understand any of it. You've never heard a word of it before. You have no former training. Nobody's ever I think you need to be able to communicate with the people that you are serving. I think a commercial driver's license is different because you don't deal with people, right? Like you're usually delivering cargo.
You deal with people a lot when you're commercial. I was a truck driver for a very long time.
I'm saying you're not performing the service, like you're delivering to maybe a company or something or a business, but like you can be relayed specific instructions, that you can understand. Whereas like you could, like when you're delivering food to somebody or doing rideshare, you might have to hear new information on the fly from the person that you're servicing.
All the apps currently, as far as I know, if you type something into the chat on their app, it auto translate it to your language.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. So here, perfect example. Over here, we have English and we have French, especially in Quebec, right? And when I speak both, I understand both very, very well. But when customers message me, it automatically puts it in English because my app is set to English. However, that also causes a different problem because then you reply and sometimes it would translate, sometimes it would not. You're calling the customer and you're thinking, oh, they speak English, but no, they really speak French. So yes, the app does it for you. I think it's automatic because I just had to set that my app was in English and I've never had to touch it ever since then. Okay. So Gary, yeah.
I think Gary and I would be exactly synced up or very close if we were to find out, like if they started, like, because I'm with you about, listen, you have to know how to drive in this country. I think we'd find that the people who are passing the driving test do know some English.
Yeah, they're gonna know. They're gonna know at least a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna be fluent, but they're gonna know enough.
Well,
you
I
know.
think that's what the law would like. If the law was imposed, those same people who are already, like you said, understand enough English or some English and they can pass the test and stuff like that, it would probably be those same people passing if the law was passed. But if you've got somebody that like they are from scratch, they've never seen an English word in their life and it is all new to them and they want to work in whatever field this is, there's a lot of challenges and possibly some like safety hazards and some communication barriers it's probably going to cause a lot of problems if they don't have any such base to work
There
on.
are. So another example for that, the bridge right here next to my house, it's under construction. And it's been under construction for the longest while. But at one point they opened it up and the far right lane, trucks were not allowed to be in that lane because of the load and all that kind of stuff, right? So at first they had it written, obviously in Quebec, in French only. Trucks were in there all the time because they do not understand words written in French, right? They're passing through Quebec. They're not from here, they're whatever the case might be. So then they had to put it English and French, but then it was confusing because it's too much text, they're driving fast. So now it's pictures. So 100% people that are driving in an area need to be able to read what is on the sign. I'm with you, Gary. They don't have to speak it. Like, everyone knows arrêt, that looks like a stop sign. It's a stop sign, but they don't need to be able to speak it. But they definitely need to be able to recognize the signs that are on the road. Like it's
Right.
And
I watch
also,
a lot. I watch a lot of channels, and as they're driving around their own country, I can identify stuff just because most of it's universal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so that's why I say I don't care if they can speak it, as long as they can read it. And I mean read it, not just identify a stop sign. They have to know that, you know, whatever language it is says stop, you have to be able to read stop.
Yeah, and understand spoken word as well, because if you're doing rideshare and someone's verbally relaying you important instructions, you need to understand it, I think, to some degree.
And some actually can. Perfect example, growing up, my best friend, his grandma was Filipino. She, you know, her friends didn't all understand English, like as far as speaking it, but you tell them something and they would understand it. You know, like, hey, will you hand me a cup? They would be able to hand you a cup. You know, so most people can understand it better than they can speak it.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of silly to assume
so what would be wrong
can,
with just putting the languages you can speak? Because and you should put your primary first. Maybe a Spanish rider wants a Spanish driver.
Yeah. That would be good.
At one point in the app for rideshare, it asked what my primary language was. I don't know if it still does. Let me go to my profile and see. But I remember
the other thing I would say,
and
I think all of us can attest to this. If you've traveled, I've traveled the whole country many times. Every state is different. Like how you do a left turn, where the lights are placed.
In my
lights are on the other side of the intersection, over the enter or before.
Yeah, in my Uber profile here, it actually says knows English.
Yeah.
So it does tell you.
Yeah,
but does it show to a passenger?
Yeah. I'm looking at my passenger profile. It won't show my green screen.
Yeah,
but
Gary, my surprise is I've heard you speak English.
I know, right?
I mean, look, I don't know. It's a tough topic because I don't want to say no, but like what I will say is not one other country in this world would let you come there and do that.
Yeah, if you
I can't go anywhere and do rideshare without knowing the language, because even if they're like, even once I get a working visa, all that, because that's a nightmare to do in its own. You're gonna have to know their language to get the working visa.
But see, this bill that they're talking about has nothing to do with foreigners. I mean, you could be a natural born citizen here, raised by Spanish community, not speak a lick of English, and it would apply to you. Even though you can drive here, you've been raised here, you know all the words here, but you don't speak it. You no longer qualify to drive.
Across the world, English is the language of aviation. You can't fly from one country to another unless you speak English. That includes the Soviet bloc, any of those old, Eastern European countries. They're all English speaking now. My question is, are we professional drivers or not? And if we were taking this profession,
We are not professional drivers. I will tell you that we are not.
we are not. Who is?
Not rideshare. No, not rideshare. A professional driver is a commercial driver's license. Simple as that. Whether it's a commercial taxi license, commercial bus license, CDL, that is a professional driver. Someone that jumps in their car for an everyday class with D license that's wearing flip flops is not a professional driver.
So you're talking about license.
But that's Uber X. Anything above X, you do need to carry different insurance. Anything?
No, you don't. No, you don't. I have XL Comfort. The only one that you maybe, depending on your state, is Black and Premier. Some of those states, like Colorado, I believe requires Black to have additional insurance policies, but the Oklahoma, Florida, they do not.
And
Texas.
Gary, you remember? I mean, I told you about this at least. I know we didn't know each other yet because it was like 2018, 19. But there was a year here where Colorado required you to have a DOT license.
Wow.
You had to go in and do Uber had a little place right next to their, what did they used to call their green light hub or whatever? Right next to it, they had this place where you could go in and for $20 you could get a back adjustment from this psycho chiropractor without windows in this little room. But also he would have you piss in a cup and test it and make sure that like your kidneys work and stuff, just like the DOT test, but it was like a little pH strip for like a bat aquarium. I don't know. It was really
what really bugs me about that whole story is you just call it a DOT test.
I'm just saying, well, because it's not real.
Okay, so here's the thing: you're saying DOT test, and most people don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, what I'm talking about is they want
to,
right. So if you do like long haul trucking and stuff, they need to make sure that you're healthy, that your body isn't, that something isn't dying, and you know, and that you don't. I think that you don't do drugs and whatever else. I don't know what they're looking for.
They're looking for your sugar content, drug use, of course, things like that.
Yeah.
And I would like to contest what you said. There's a difference between a licensed and a professional anything. Being a professional at something means it is your profession. It's a job. That's all that means. And you can conduct yourself professionally in any job that you do or any profession that you have. There's no CDL for being a food delivery driver. So if you're a professional delivery driver, it's your profession. And so yes, if we do that as a job and we take it seriously, we are professional, whatever, gig workers.
Sure. That's like calling someone that rides a crotch rocket a biker. They're not.
I know. They're actually in my city. They're called a problem because, dude, when they get past about my exit at Quebec on I-70, and if a cop is trying to pull one over, I've seen this multiple times, not just once. The cop hits the sirens, the crotch rocket goes, and it's gone, and the cop turns the siren off.
Yep.
Doesn't even use his radio. He's just like, screw it. Can't get
it. They won't catch it unless they got Air 1 in the air already. They're not catching that bike on a highway.
Yeah.
So I had this discussion with one of my people in my car just this past weekend, and because we had a couple of crotch rockets go by us well over 100 miles an hour. This is the big weekend down in Galveston for the what do you go, biker convention. It's the biggest biker convention outside of Stennis. And so anyway, these two bikes go flying by us. And we were talking that you don't have to be suicidal to do that, but you have to absolutely not care if you live or die.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've gone 200. I've gone 200 plus on a bike before. Yeah, you just have to. You have to not care.
I would like to add too. I'm from Laconia, and there are members of the Hells Angels that ride crotch rockets. So I think that rule is in the past. I think you can ride anything now on two wheels.
I think those are Vermont. I think those are Vermont Hells Angels.
Yeah. I mean, you can ride anything with two wheels and call yourself a biker, but it's just one of those things. When people refer to a professional driver, they're normally talking about someone that does it professionally, has a special license to do it. When they refer to someone as we don't have a professional license to do it though. We have a casual Class B license. Yeah, but it's not professionally, is what I'm saying. Like you can do it in flip flops. You would never see a limo driver doing it in flip flops. Why?
Okay. Is a drug dealer or a drug mule a professional driver?
A drug mule?
You have to do the driving.
Yes.
They get paid to drive.
Okay, so
drug deal
Uber
does.
Connect drivers are
Yeah.
Oh.
professionals.
Making neighbor connect.
Um, okay, before we move on though, so we got another thing that kind of ties into this, which is Cheyenne's going to talk about it, which 26 states going to the women only, which I don't have an issue with, but I do want to talk about it because
26 cities, though. That's correct. 26 cities.
Sorry. Yeah.
Including
So,
Houston.
so this is going to affect you as well. I'd love to get your input then on it. So pretty much what it is, to let everybody know what we're talking about, is that 26 additional cities have been added to Uber's women preferences when it comes to rider, like the type of driver that they have. And it's also expanding over to the teen rider section. So there are different articles out there that you can find to show you as a rider how you can turn this on. And there are 3 different types of trips or ways that you can request this. It could be like a request on demand. So, when you typically go in and you select that you want to ride, you just toggle women drivers. Then you can also reserve this in advance, where you can say, hey, I want to pre-book a woman driver. And you can also set it in your preferences in the app. Now, they're saying that if you set it as a preference in the app, that doesn't guarantee that you'll get a woman driver, but it can increase your chances. On the driver's side, if you want to toggle it on that you're accepting women rider preferences.
You're not even guaranteed a woman if you want to be in the woman program.
No, exactly.
Wouldn't you just sit there and cancel until you got one? If you were that concerned, you're just going to keep doing it until you get a woman.
Well, I think it's more that, so the fact that the driver can toggle on women rider preference in their app, I'm assuming because it's all databases, right? So the algorithm's going to go in the back and they're going to see, okay, from the people that toggled on, who's available. And then from there, obviously, this is still Uber, right? They don't want to lose a customer. So if there's nobody in the area that says woman rider preference, then they're still going to send it to a male driver. That's why they're saying it's not going to guarantee that you're going to get a woman driver, but it is going to increase the chances. And then,
Right.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say that this is being done after this is, I don't know. I would love to say that this is Uber. Wow, they really care about us. They love us. They're going to try and we've been dealing with Uber non-safety since the beginning. This is just about numbers. This is about they're getting sued so bad everywhere by assaults, and the assault numbers are so up. This has nothing to do with real safety. This is just straight up probably going to be gone after the new year, if not before.
Well, I'm hoping. So here's the thing. I'm hoping that it stays because of the fact that even though I don't like the whole Uber teen account thing, people are still using it, whatever. So the fact that people are still using it and that they've extended this option into the teen account, just for that, I'm really hoping that it stays. And then also for the women that would really rather have a woman driver, I would hope that it would stay because there are a lot of issues with male drivers. Like, they're not all bad.
But so a couple things. What about a trans driver?
I don't know how they're gonna.
Well, whatever you identify, Uber can't screw around with you. If you say you're this, you're that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're gonna.
You're a contractor. They don't even want to acknowledge anything with you.
So the thing that bothers me with this, though, is in all of the documentation, there's nothing that says we are going to validate this information. So let's say Tom decides, I'm going to take on woman rider preference. Who's to say that he's not going to end up going to pick up a woman? She's not going to look. She's going to get in the car and oops, you're not a woman. So there's nothing in any of the documentation that's saying they're going to validate this with, I don't know, your driver's license or something, whatever might be in the app that can identify whether it's a male or a woman. No form of validation possible. So how exactly are they ensuring that this is actually going to work the way that they want it to work? And people are not going to, there's always a workaround. People are not going to try to find a way to work around this.
So wait, is Kim? Hey Kim, this is Kim in Chicago. What is she like? Are you guys saying that it would be better for teen riders because women are better to drive teens?
Wait, I
No.
was gonna say, like, why do people think women are safer?
They are.
Yeah, they are though.
No, I mean women can be just as dangerous.
No.
I mean, yeah, look at that
No.
recent rideshare driver just got killed by a woman. I mean, just because you're a woman doesn't make you safer. Being a good person makes you safer. There's just more men than there are women.
No, men statistically
disagree on
commit
that
more
one.
violent crime. Like, violent crime is overwhelmingly committed by men.
Yeah,
Like, there's no arguing that at all in any.
we
But
would
I'm saying
agree to
having a
disagree on
woman
that
doesn't
one.
make you safer, though. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
it does.
I would feel a lot safer at night if I'm coming home from a bar drunk with a woman as my driver than with a man as my driver.
Till it's a trans that shows up and says, "Get in." And you're like, ah.
You know what? I've never met anyone from the LGBTQ family that has been mean, like ever. That I will say.
No, but it's just that could. I mean, your theory about not getting hurt that would be sketchy to me if you're on the women only program and something
Yeah.
like that shows up. I mean, look, I know we're not the Olympic committee. I know we're not going to ban them right here, but but at the same time, you're talking about overpowering and that sense of
Yeah.
should this,
Yeah.
I don't know. So here's my other question. I know that it's not the case, but should the women drivers should they opt in and then only be allowed to drive women?
No.
Well,
No.
why?
Because they're not a threat to men.
Well, here's my thing is I'm for women being able to choose women. How come me as a man, I can't choose a man?
You can, or you should be able to if you want to. That's weird, but if you want
Right.
to.
Well, no, I mean, I prefer a male driver, honestly. I just do.
Okay. I think we should have
women women are chatty drivers. And
Gary's-
I'd like
Gary's
to drive.
sexist.
No, I'm not sexist. It's just I prefer a male driver because I want to get in, I don't want to talk, and I want to just go. That's what I want to do. And so, but I just think that if you're going to have an option for one, you have to have an option for all.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with everybody having their preferences.
So this is interesting that Gary said that because there are male drivers now that are suing Uber and Lyft for sex discrimination over women-only ride-hailing features.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
now
see, I think that's
they're
dumb.
saying, well, how come, just like Gary just said, well, how come women can request this? This is going to diminish the amount of rides that I'm going
They
to
don't
get.
know. Like, they
now
don't know why.
It's something that's out there. And as Gary said, it's true. Like he should be able to choose who he wants to. But then also there's also the other side where they're saying, okay, but if women are going only with women, that diminishes the amount of people that now we can pick up. So now you're going to be affecting my pocket. So
I
there's
don't
like
think
those
that they would have to prove how many women take rideshare versus men in that case. Because
Also, let's not forget here, guys.
I will say most of my rides, full-time driver, most of my rides are men.
Yeah. Well,
And so
What about you,
for me to say that, it would be very, very low percentage that I lose.
50-50, I think.
wow.
Yeah.
because, and is this affecting you? Because this there was a question up above that said, where is this? And it's true, I didn't say where this was. It's in 26 different cities, but for example, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, New Orleans, Tampa, Jacksonville, Charlotte, St. Louis, Denver, Vegas, Sacramento, Detroit, Chicago. Like there's a whole bunch of different places, upstate New York, Pittsburgh, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of places that this is going to affect.
But I mean, I think Gary will remember this too. This is not new, you guys.
No.
This has been done before by these companies. I can't remember if it was Lyft last or what. They've already done women for women rides. There's companies that have tried this.
Lyft still does it, I believe. I think they have an option on Lyft already. Still,
Yeah, I mean,
if you think about it, this also exists in a lot of other, like, you can, if you go to a massage parlor, you can request a female masseuse. You know, if you go to like a doctor, you can request a female doctor. Like it's not, if it's not sexist in any of those other fields, why is it sexist here? It's because
because in those other fields you can also go in there and request a male.
Yes.
well, you can request either. Like you can request either.
Right. But on Uber on this you can't. If you're a woman, you can request a woman, but if you're a male, you can't request a man.
Yeah.
Oh,
It should,
And like women also can't go and request a man only either.
no.
I think it's fair to do it both ways. I do think that's fair, but I think it's all, if they're going to pick one, it's fair to start with that because of the safety concern. Men are not at risk statistically getting in a car with a woman, but women are at risk statistically getting in a car with a strange man. So it's fair. Like,
well, here's my last take on this is that I honestly think that, okay, because after I heard Cheyenne say that they'll try and get you a woman. So if you are a woman passenger, you should, if that is a big concern of yours and you are for real, I hate to say this, but we live in a time where I think you should have to select that, and that's your selection. Because otherwise there is going to be a group of people who take advantage of this.
Yeah.
I want a free ride
sure.
because there's not a woman nearby.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm looking it up as we're talking here, and the last report says only about 20% of rideshare drivers are women.
Right.
yeah, not a lot.
So that's
I
going to be a
pinned
long
in the
way
chat to
getting
anybody that
into
wants to see. That's the Uber website report on this, on the 26 cities. So if you guys want to see it, it's right there. I don't know. I think it's a little strange. Again, I also don't. I wish it was what we all would like it to know that it's for. That it's actually for the safety, and they're going to continue it. I don't think it is. I think it's for money.
I think it's a marketing ploy.
Yeah, it's a marketing play.
And yes, you're right. This is not new. They said since launching in Saudi Arabia in 2019.
Right.
Following a change in the laws, they're allowing women to drive. We've been listening to women riders and drivers around the world. We heard their feedback, and we're building better features. So this is like,
well, I definitely no. I'm cool with a woman driver, unlike Gary. But in Saudi Arabia, I don't want one of those women looking through that little slit.
Wait, Steve, because I remember when you and Marissa everywhere, you drove all the time. And so if you was okay with the woman drive, why do you let her drive?
Oh, I would. Would I not?
She didn't know?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I've
like when me and
I've
Donna
slept
go
in the car
somewhere, I
with
don't
women
let Donna
drivers. So I
drive.
mean, I'm fully trusting. You know?
wait, but why don't you let her drive? Do you not let her drive because you're
I
Do
hate
not
her.
let her
night
drive. He's making it
heavy?
up.
Or do
No,
you
I
not
do
let her
not
drive
let her
because you don't
drive.
trust her driving?
I don't trust her driving.
Really?
Yeah, she knows that. She's in the chat. She'll tell you. And she prefers to let me drive.
See, in my relationship, I'm the better driver. I have fewer accidents on my record, so I drive us everywhere. So definitely based on your own experience, I think,
See?
your personal experience.
Right there. Passenger princess.
But you can be because I'm a passenger princess, but that's because he chooses to drive, not because he doesn't drive.
You know, this is
He doesn't
another
want me
good
to
point
drive.
here, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, this is for the men point. If you get in with a women driver, you can do just the littlest
Now-
thing.
The thing is with me, though, I was a safety director. And so, like, I point out people's flaws when they drive, too. Because I used to teach people to drive. So,
So she likes driving.
just not with me in the car.
It's not with you.
So,
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Like we drove from here to Virginia, and I drove the whole way, all the way there, all the way back.
Wait, so Tom, is this because I didn't hear that answer? Is it affecting you, the fact that this new feature is there, or it's still too new to see?
It's too new to see, but I don't expect it's going to impact me at all. We're 100% busy here, and I don't think that's going to change one way or the other for me.
I mean, if you,
I
Tom,
don't think
Tom
those
said
people in
before
California
that, I mean,
either
Tom
will be
said before
affected.
when he decides those times when he picks his like times he's going to work, it's not like some markets. He's busy the whole time if he wants to be.
Yeah.
Not
See,
not every market has that, even for rideshare.
That's what I said.
Like,
That California law, I think, or the one that they're trying to get $4,000 for every. I think that's a dumb lawsuit too. Like, I doubt it's going to impact them at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Well, you guys, Tom was all for these like little segment things, so I put one together and then when we come back on the other side, we got just a couple more things before we wrap it up because we'll hit the time closely today. This is short. It's a little thing that I like to call. Well, you'll see.
When the truck stopped cute, coming on to me, tried to take me into a ride. She said I wouldn't be sorry.
Look at you. Yeah, your mother's a washing machine. That's right, Felicia. Your mother's a fucking washing machine. You fucking come running right at me. What the fuck are you doing? Go around me. I'm not moving for you. You move for me. Lance. And then here comes this dumbass. You guys are out of control. You guys, first off, slow down on the fucking sidewalk. When you see somebody coming, you get out of the way, okay? Humans are not gonna move for you. You guys are gonna move for us, all right? We don't fucking work for you. Oh, somebody's getting fired. You are such a fuck up. The robot is stuck in the middle of the street. They gotta go around the robot. Uber, come get your boy. Hold on. We're gonna push this shit out of the way. Wait, you trying to say Austin was harassing you? Who knocked Austin over? Who assaulted Austin?
I knocked it over because it's evil.
You assaulted Austin?
No, I didn't assault Austin. Don't put that on video. Evil in Jesus' name. Love you, boxer. Hey, shout out to Lauren Tagle. This is Tristan Edward King. Shot born November 25th, 1994. I'm 28 years old. For the past 5 months, the CIA and the FBI has been trying to kill me. And
is Austin the FBI?
You stabbed me for an electrician from Marine.
Is this the CIA?
Get my leg now.
Okay.
On video.
Okay.
I got shot with a K-bar for $5 dope. And then I fucking died in the back of the ambulance. I remember everything. And I woke up in the hospital.
But what does Austin have to do with it?
I don't fucking know. It says it's evil. It's got evil intentions and motives. You can see how it operates, the fruit. It says serve robots. Fuck robots, bro. You want to be relational, not religious. This is religion, man-made.
And next time we got this.
Oh, God. I was having full conversations with robots.
You guys, that's at Film the Robots LA. You can find them on TikTok. They might be on YouTube too. I'm not actually sure, but they're big on TikTok, and I know they're on a couple other platforms too. But as we wind down here, this is an Uber Eats story. I'm gonna let Acacia tell it, and then I want Gary to real quick talk about this arbitration thing. Then we're gonna wrap it up for the week. We got a good couple things planned for next week, so stick in there, guys. But Acacia, will you tell us about the? I guess there's 2 Manchesters in that little neck of the woods up by her, and she thought it was the other ones, but it doesn't matter. They're all still close to her. So.
Yeah, up here in New England. So I originally thought this was a Manchester, New Hampshire story, which is where I'm from, but it's actually Manchester, Connecticut. And this is a multi-layered story and issue here. So the family of a 45-year-old man who was killed by an Uber driver is suing Uber, the company. Apparently the driver was 18 years old when it happened, driving at 10 p.m., doing a delivery. And apparently he also had a passenger in the back that was doing gig work along with him. So there's a couple things already there, but also apparently the 18-year-old driver was uninsured, unregistered, and had a fog light out. So there's a lot of things here. So the legal team is alleging that this was negligent and that a lot of things could have prevented this tragedy from happening. And we can probably see why. Apparently the kid was doing anywhere from 44 to 59 in a 30 zone, and he hit the guy so hard that he went his body went flying and he died only a few minutes later. So very sad, very tragic. And this kid was only 18 years old. So, I mean, first of all, I just want to say I think that calling an 18-year-old an adult is a joke, and they should not be doing this kind of work. Even as a 35-year-old, having done this for 8 years, I still get in situations sometimes trying to juggle the apps and focus somewhere and going and get to places on time and concentrate, especially in the dark. Like, I still run into risky situations, even with all of my driving experience. So that's concerning right there. I totally understand why the family wants to sue Uber. I don't know. I'm also confused as to how this happened, given that the kid was unregistered and uninsured, because when my registration or insurance is about to expire, the app notifies me and then won't let me go on unless I update the paperwork. So,
but how long is your insurance card? 6 months, right?
I believe it's either every 6 months or every year. I think it's
okay. So you upload it and you cancel it. If you cancel your insurance, you get paid to the day that you cancel it. So if you buy a 6-month policy, upload it, you can cancel it the next day and get all your money back.
But it also says the car was unregistered.
Yeah.
So how did he register it with Uber if it was unregistered? Unless he was driving a different car that wasn't registered with Uber.
Yeah.
It doesn't specify. I guess it's still a fairly new story, but that's what we got on it. Yeah,
see. That's why, Steve. We talked about this before. I'm a huge fan of allowing us to link our insurance and stuff to the platforms. That way, whenever something like this happens, the moment that your insurance lapses or anything like that, you're automatically, temporarily deactivated on the platform until you upload your new insurance or relink a new policy.
Yeah.
I'm all for a company or even a couple that compete with each other where they can deal with all the apps. You upload you have access to your portal. You can keep all your documents up to date. You don't ever have to stress anything because it's all right and they'll go to bat for you. And maybe you even, like I've said, maybe it even involves you having to pay something a year, but that's the cost of being your own boss. So, I don't know. I think something like that needs to happen because it would save the company the $23 they spend on checker, which is nothing, but it would allow all of us to never be stressed about that kind of stuff because it would be in our hands to make sure those were done correctly.
So looking at this, I pulled up another story here. It says the car was too old. It was a 2002 model. Yep. It was unregistered, uninsured, and had an improper license plate on it. So I don't think this is Uber's. Yeah, and the fog light. Well, yeah, there's other stuff too. But I'm saying as far as I think he was driving a different car that wasn't registered with Uber. I don't see how this is Uber's fault. I mean, as tragic as it is, I just don't think it's Uber's fault. I think it's the young man's fault.
Well, but how did he upload a registration with his name on it?
I'm saying he's driving a completely different vehicle here, though.
Yeah.
Like the vehicle he had registered with the Uber is probably legit. The one that he was in was not.
Yeah, because you could do that, right? Like I have my vehicle and my boyfriend's vehicle in my app, but who knows which one I'm choosing, right? And I could just take a random vehicle. Like at one point,
if this kid's 18, you have to have your name on it.
Well, no, okay. The best way I can say this is I have 3 vehicles on my Uber policy. If like my insurance on one of them lapses in December, just because it lapses and I don't upload it or whatever, I can still go drive it under Uber Eats. They will never know.
Right.
And so I think that's what happened here is he was driving a car that wasn't registered to the app.
Maybe.
It didn't say registered to the app. It just said unregistered. I assume that means legally not registered.
Right. That's what I was getting at is I don't think it was something that Uber faulted on. I just think it was something that this kid was doing, trying to make money and used a friend's car or somebody else's car. It might even be his own car that he just didn't ever register. And whenever he signed up for the apps, he could have used, his parents' car or something like that to register everything.
Exactly.
I mean, the biggest area of fault on Uber is that 18-year-olds should not be doing this.
Right. I agree there. Because I think there's still new enough drivers. Most drivers get their license at 16. By 18, that doesn't make you ready to go out and put on 200 miles a day doing deliveries.
And if it does, you should be working as a W-2 covered in a company vehicle doing deliveries or courier job where an employer trusts you enough to do it. This shouldn't be something that you don't, because all of us don't even fully understand how it's going to be handled in each instance.
So then
There's no
devil's
way an
advocate,
18-year-old should be out there.
what would be the age limit then?
20 at least, if not 21.
I
Well,
mean, you can go to war at 18. You can drink at 21.
But who determines what the age level is, right? Like, let's say someone that just got their license.
You can't
and
rent
they're
a car till you're
26.
25.
No, but let's say someone that's 26 and just got their driver's license. They have a lot less experience driving than someone that got their license at 16, has been driving ever since, and now they're 26. That's a very different situation.
So if I may, Cheyenne, an 18-year-old is still 7 years away from their brain being finished developed. A 26-year-old has a fully developed brain and a fully developed frontal lobe. So your reaction time, your judgment, all of that is much more developed, even in that short amount of time compared to when you're 18. And then driving is difficult in general. It does require a lot of experience. So does delivery driving and managing these apps, because it's also, you have to be distracted driving kind of while you're doing this.
Well, here's the thing: to deliver with Uber Eats by car, you have to be over the age of 19. So, but if you're delivering on bicycle or foot, you can be 18. So I'm wondering if he was registered as maybe a bike person and then took a car.
Oh.
No.
Would they be like going, dude, you ride a bike really fast?
Well, they don't. Well, because okay, it says bike or scooter is what it says. So scooters nowadays they do 40 miles an hour. It seems like. So I mean, and that's the only thing I can think of is he was registered as an 18-year-old driver, or a bike or scooter or whatever, and then he took a car instead.
Maybe.
Which is still not Uber's fault, because as long as Uber did what they were supposed to and registered him as only bicycle or foot, then that would still be on the kid.
Right. It would be nice to know the more details, to know how he is registered as a driver.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, they leave so much stuff out of the story that you have to speculate. It's ridiculous.
But one thing for sure, I'm sure that kid's mortified. He did stay at the scene. He didn't try to flee, and he cooperated and everything too. But I'm sure that's horrible for everybody either way.
Yeah, I agree.
So as we wind up to the top of the hour, I was going to say to Gary that I know that I mean, we're right here at the top of the area, but I just want Gary, I mean, if we need more time next week, but you should tell people when, because you have a post, we should share it.
Right. I have lots of posts. MiddletonTech.com/blog. There's I think there's 3 now. I think it's DoorDash, Uber, and Lyft. I have arbitration guides, step by step on how to file if you're deactivated. What this is for, this isn't, or it's not just for deactivation. It's for any appeal process that the companies fail to do. So if you're deactivated, you appeal. Say you have dash cam footage and they won't look at it. They say, oh, no, our deactivation stands. You can file for arbitration, which will make them legally look at that dash cam footage. And then, I'd say probably 70% of the time they settle or reactivate drivers without ever going to actual arbitration. And a lot of people's like, well, arbitration costs money. I can't afford a lawyer. It's free for drivers because the platforms pick up the arbitration cost, and you make, even most people nowadays make less than the arbitration percentage. So you can always fill out a waiver to get your portion, which I think is like $200 covered. But yeah, if you have any payment mistakes, say you didn't get paid 1 week, or if they paid you half and you're like, hey, I was supposed to have these bonuses. And they're like, well, no, you don't. You can also file for arbitration on that as well. One thing I don't recommend, though, is filing for arbitration if you know you did something wrong. If you know you was driving under influence, or you cussed out a passenger, you assaulted a passenger, or whatever it may be, don't file for arbitration. You're just wasting time and money, because they can come back and get that money from you because you're falsely filing. This is for legit reasons only.
Did you hear that, all you scamming gig workers?
Yeah.
Don't do it falsely. But honestly, when people should do it is
the way I say it, if you've been deactivated or you have a pay discrepancy or some type of discrepancy with the platform. and you go ahead and you reach out to the platform, you appeal the process, or email back and forth, and they're refusing to look at any further data you may have, or proof, like if you get deactivated, you say, hey, I got a dash cam, and they go, yeah, we don't care, your deactivation stands. Well, then that's when you file for arbitration, because they're not going to look at anything after your appeal. They're not going to look at anything you send them. They're never going to look at. The only way to make them look at it is go through arbitration.
So that would be my last question then. So, I mean, literally, like if it's overpay, I know a lot of people, not me, because I would do what I feel like I need to do. But I know a lot of people would be like, dude, if I file this, they're going to deactivate me because I just want my money.
No,
there's a lot of people like that, though.
No, they won't. What it'll do is I've helped people do it for pay too. I help a lot of people file for this stuff. And so what it is, if it's for pay, say bonuses, for example, one guy completed his bonuses and Uber said, no, you didn't. You still needed one more to go. And he's got screenshots with all his trips for his bonuses. And the thing is, you can't just file for arbitration. So it's not like, oh, I'm filed for arbitration and then tomorrow Uber's out $7,500. No, you have to give them a notice that you're filing for arbitration and then 60 days to respond to that notice. So in that 60 days, 9 out of 10 times, the lawyer is going to contact you and say, hey, what's going on? And then you say, hey, here's my screenshots, here's my proof, whatever it may be. And then that lawyer goes back and forth with Uber, and then they figure it out from there. 9 out of 10 times, I say that happens more often than not. There are some cases that they actually does go to arbitration, which is a long, drawn-out process. But if you're deactivated, who cares? You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Unless you lied.
Yeah, unless you lied. Unless you lied. And I specify that to people all the time. Don't message me saying I don't know what I did.
What you do?
And then whenever I start asking you questions, and I can figure it out just based off my questions that you did something wrong. Well, you did something wrong. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, these systems are put into place to help drivers, and if you try to abuse it, then that makes it harder for legit people to actually use it to their benefit.
True. Yep.
Tom, Cheyenne, Tom, any final words for us for tonight, like last time? Cheyenne, any? I wanted Cheyenne to give like a health challenge for everybody as we roll up on the holidays, or like even a business challenge. If she doesn't have one tonight, she can do it next week, but it is up to her.
There's no time. We're
next week then. Tom, you got any final words of wisdom before I sign us off?
We'll talk safety next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just safety, yeah. As we roll into the holidays, safety is a big one.
Yes.
Thanks, Marco, for dropping in. I got to pick your ear more about that round table and them ripping us off on that. So,
yeah.
That said, you guys, we will see you back here next week, week before Thanksgiving. And until then, be safe, earn smart, be good to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace, y'all.
Good night.
Hey, wait.